That's this guy on the line. It's been a little while since he's been on. That would be Mike Babock from TMZ Sports. Mike, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing all right. Before we get to the sports stuff, I got to ask you: Did you see that Carolyn Goodman Vegas interview? What did you make of that? If you did see it?
No, I didn't, Brian. What happened?
Well, it made national news. It's all over the world. I mean, people like Jimmy Kimmel, who, as you know, spent a lot of time here in Las Vegas, is asking for her.
Well, he grew up here.
Yeah, asking for her removal. Basically, she just made her. Anderson Cooper made her look like a clown. It was a 25-minute interview.
I did.
Yeah.
I did see it. Her name slipped my mind. I did see. She said some crazy stuff about Corona.
Yeah.
Huh?
She did. She said quite a few crazy things. That's absolutely, and I know that there's some celebrities and people that have been commenting on social media. Let's talk a little Tom Brady, because there's a couple stories that came out that you guys are covering. What is this trespassing story that I hear, that he went into the wrong house? I could just imagine if if you're sitting at home and all of a sudden Tom Brady tries to get into your house. What the hell happened?
Yeah, it's so funny. So April 7th, a couple days after Tom had moved into Derek Jeter's house in Tampa, he was trying to go over to Byron Leftwich's house, who is the offensive coordinator for the Bucs. Problem is, Tom walked into the wrong house. He went to Byron's next-door neighbor. So you have this guy who is sitting at his kitchen, and Tom Brady doesn't knock. He just walks right into the house. And so this guy's at his kitchen table. It's a long hallway, kitchen table, and he's looking at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's looking at him. And they just have this moment where neither of them know what the hell is going on. And Tom is like, I'm looking for Byron. Am I in the wrong house? And the guy's like, yeah, he lives next door. So we have a picture on the website. If people go look at it, you can see the houses are essentially identically the same, except Byron built an addition on the house. But they look exactly the same. Now, that doesn't kind of explain why he had the wrong address, but nonetheless, it was just a really funny moment. And this guy was not mad; he's a Bucs fan. He couldn't believe that Tom Brady was standing inside of his house.
I have a couple footballs in my house, Mike, and I'm trying to think, what would I do if Tom Brady got there? The first question would be, can I get 10 minutes with Giselle? And the second question would be, can you sign a football for me? What would you do, Mike? Mike, what would you do if Tom Brady knocked on your door? I mean, would you think work first, and would you get your camera out, or what was the first thing you would do or think of if Tom Brady knocked on your door?
I feel like I would try to get him to stay, right? Like have a drink with him or something, or hang out with him a little bit, right?
What time was it?
Froze up. That's a good question.
Because if it's during the day, if it's during the day in a nice sunny Florida day, but if it's say it's like what happened with Bryce DeJohn Jones. Brian, remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, that was at night. That was kind of the same situation.
We got nothing else to do, right? Everyone's sitting at home and have a drink. I mean, if you don't want to drink alcohol, if it's too early, have a nice tea.
Yeah. All right. Listen, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, I know you've been having some issues with your wife. Listen, let me give it a shoot. Then he'd probably punch me in the face. So this story about
he would, and he would be justified in doing so.
And I would deserve that. Tom Brady now, reuniting with Gronk. Nobody knew for sure if Gronk was going to come back, and we know he's had some injuries, been plagued with injuries. First of all, do you think Gronk could still play at anywhere near the level he once did? That's my first question. And what do you make of these guys reuniting?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised by it. I know there was a lot of talk last year. People thought he was going to come back, once, mid-season, if not that when the playoffs rolled around. But I think that his body was really in a tough place. And even if you listened to him talk the other day, he said that after the Super Bowl, he could barely walk for weeks. So he was really in rough shape. And he took last year to rest, and he got with the marijuana products and the CBD stuff, and he says that that's made a big difference for him. So, just having talked to people who are close to Tom Brady and to Gronk, around 2 months ago or so is when I think he started to get that itch back, and then him and Tom started to have conversations, and then that's when it started to happen. I do think if you listen to him talk, Brian, that he says his body is back to tip-top shape. I think he might actually be better than he was the year before last in New England.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, because, look, 1 year, when you start getting 2, 3 years, when you're talking Percy Harvin time off, then that's when I start to doubt that you can pick it back up. But he'll miss one season. Sure. He says he's feeling better, so I wouldn't be surprised. He's still relatively young, so I really won't be surprised if he looks really good out there and looks like basically peak condition Gronk.
That'd be fun to watch. It really would, and I hope he. I hope he is.
So. I hope that's the case.
That'd be great. So I want to talk to you a little golf because first of all, the PGA Tour might be the first professional sport to come back. It's still a little bit of speculation, but it makes sense to me. Now I remember, if you remember, Mike, the Tiger Woods Phil the match, which was in Las Vegas, and I was extremely lucky. I was able to walk 18 holes with two of arguably the best golfers, top, best, and maybe Tiger Woods probably would go down as the best with Jack Nicklaus, but Phil is certainly a Hall of Famer and a top 10 of all time. I was able to watch those guys in Vegas play that 18-hole match. It was so much fun. And now we got this charity tournament. I don't think they've announced yet where it's going to be. It's going to be Tiger, Phil, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. This is really cool, and I think especially when there's not a lot of sports going on, I think this is going to get a ton of watches.
So do I. This is going to be huge. I think people are dying for sports that aren't 30 years old. Not that that's not fun to watch, but people want something new. And just to see, like, Peyton and Tom Brady interact with each other and Tiger and Phil, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I remember when you were at the golf tournament because you saw all the money, didn't you, Brian? Didn't you see
I gave you guys that picture. Yeah, I took that picture, and I remember for people that don't know, the Tiger Phil match it was $9 million. I walk into the clubhouse. This was the press conference a couple days before the match. And then my friend says, hey, you might want to walk in here because Phil's in here talking to one of his guys, and I want to show you some money. And I didn't really know what that meant at first. I walk into the locker room, and I see $9 million cash in the locker room. And by the way, this wasn't $100 bills showcased with dollar bills underneath it. There was $9 million, at least I was told, that was in there. And I'm just looking at this money, and there's, like, no security. Okay, that was the weird thing. There was literally no security.
Than I am.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson was in there with a friend talking, and I didn't want to take his picture. I just kind of snuck in there and took a picture. I mean, when you see any money anywhere, there's usually security around. We're talking $9 million cash. This was not fake money. And the picture I sent you, I mean, as you can see, there's like nobody around. There's no security or anything.
No, it was just you in that room with Phil.
Yeah, I
did not have guard.
So I thought to myself, what would happen if I took like a mill? I don't need $9 million. I'm not that greedy. Just put $1 million in my briefcase, which I don't know if I could have fit that, maybe, and just walk out of there. Could I have made it?
Did you have a briefcase?
I did. Well, not a briefcase, but I had like a recorder, and I had
a little bag.
I had a little like backpack on me. Yeah.
I think you maybe might have been able to fit $150K in that.
I think I could have gotten more in there.
You really?
Yeah, I do. I do.
I don't know.
Even if it's $150K. You just thought you were going to a golf tournament, right? You interview a couple people, and then you walk out with the $150K?
Yeah, trust me, Mike. I'm a horrible human being, so the thought definitely crossed my mind.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, and then I just said
definitely crossed his mind at least 5 times. Any plotted out ways to escape.
But the difference is I'm being sarcastic, and JD's actually telling the truth. That's the difference. but yeah, instead I just said, why don't I just take a picture and just sell a picture at TMZ? So
I just pulled it up, Brian. They're wrapped up too. You just grab 3 and 4 of those wraps. Those are probably like $100,000 each. Man.
Listen, I regret it every day. Mike. There's no question. Yeah, I know I did. I deserve that. There's no question. But, yeah, going back to this golf tournament, it's going to – do you know – I know they mentioned that it might be in South Carolina. Is there any mention of Vegas that you heard of? Because I haven't heard that.
No, I heard the same thing, that South Carolina was an option. I hadn't heard anything about Vegas, so that would seem to make sense too, right?
Damn it. Damn it. That sucks.
This is safe. Hopefully it is in Vegas, so you get to go back out there.
Oh, God, that would be the best.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Watching arguably 2 of the best quarterbacks of all time and 2 of the best golfers of all time in the same golf group, I'd be in heaven.
That'd be how they interact with each other. I'm so into like the.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
It'll be like that episode of Entourage.
I'm going to tell you this.
With Tom Brady. Turtle, when Turtle refused to shake his hand.
I've been around Tiger Woods before. I was a few feet away from Tiger Woods during that 18-hole match with Phil. He's just even though he's a great, he's going to go down as the best probably golfer of all time, he just doesn't have – Phil has the personality for this. I'm just being honest with you. Tiger does not. He doesn't interact very much. He's not very funny on the golf course. Phil is the opposite. I think Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are great. They're going to be great for this. I think they're going to bust balls. I don't know. Listen, you have to have Tiger involved in this because it's Tiger Woods, but he's just not. I'm hoping that maybe we can get a better personality Tiger Woods in this thing. I'm hoping.
Well, what do you think the matchups will be?
Yeah, I'm wondering if once he gets around 3 other super famous guys if maybe he lets his guard down and maybe his personality
I hope
down
so.
a little bit. But yeah,
I hope so, because I know
too.
Phil. I was walking a few feet away from Phil and Tiger, and Phil tried to interact with him on a number of occasions, and Tiger just wasn't having much
Laser
of it.
focus, Brian. Laser
Well,
focus.
Tiger played like crap. In fact, they both did. They didn't make any birdies. It was
Yeah.
not pretty golf. But let's talk. Speaking of not pretty, let's talk about Roger Goodell. Well, his wife is very pretty, but he's going to be broadcasting the draft tonight, the NFL draft, from his basement. Now, Roger Goodell is worth more money than me in 100 lifetimes over. But what is this? What do you think his basement looks like, and how is this broadcast? How is this going to go tonight?
Well, he went on Good Morning America this morning, so we got a little glimpse of what the basement looks like. He's got like a little man cave thing. It looks like they tried to make the set look nice as they could, He's got I noticed a little Mike Ditka bobblehead behind him, which that threw me off a little bit. Didn't expect that, but I'm just looking forward to this thing because I think everyone who has been working from home just know it. You have technical issues and things go wrong, and the internet's not good, and I know something is going to go wrong tonight, right? And I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. And is someone going to get hacked? It can't go smoothly. It's just impossible. And I know they have, a lot of tech people, and I know they're working hard at the NFL to try to make sure this goes off without a hitch, but something's going to go wrong. But yeah, he's sitting in his basement. He said he had for his daughters have a bunch of dolls and stuff down there usually. So Roger Goodell, I guess he said him and his wife had to clear off the dolls and bring the dolls upstairs so there weren't these creepy, weird dolls in the background of the NFL draft. It should be fun tonight.
I want to have fun with this, and I want to ask my co-host and Mike just a few quick questions on bets that you could make legally in Las Vegas on the draft. JD, I'll start with you, and then I'll go to Mike. I like this bet. Will the New England Patriots draft a quarterback in round number 1? Yes is 2-1. No, minus 250. JD, you go first.
No.
Mike, what do you say?
No.
Yeah, I agree with that. Will a running back be drafted in round 1? Yes, minus 155. No, plus 135.
Yes.
I say yes,
think,
too.
Mike?
I feel like I should just say something different, JD.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask
I think DeAndre Swift and Jonathan Taylor both have a chance to go in the first round.
All right. These last two, I'm going to ask Mike first and then go to JD to be fair here. All right. Offensive players taken in round 1. Over under 16.5. What do you say, Mike?
Oh, man, over under 16.5. Let's go over.
Well, okay, JD, what do you say?
I'm going to say under. I think it ends at like 15 or 16.
Well, the over's minus 220. So
There's a lot of really good defensive players in this draft. There's a lot of needs at defensive positions.
Last one. Defensive players taken in round 1. The over-under is 14.5. Mike, what do you say?
Well, I guess I go under because I just said over on the offensive guys, right? I'll take it.
Yep. All right, and I'm going over, and then Mike, I've got a bet for you. I will bet you $10 to win 1 cent that Joe Burrow goes number 1.
Wait, $10 to win 1 penny?
Yes.
That's correct me if my math is that's $500 to win $1, right? Is my math right? Or is that I'm probably off?
That's wrong. It's $1,000 to win $1.
I figured I'd get that right.
All right, let's. I'm going to take it. We've seen these crazy. We've seen like Laramie Tunsil. We've seen scandals on the draft day. I don't think Joe Burrow had anything like that, but I'm going to take the bet.
Right.
All right.
Well, Mike, I hope that Roger Goodell screws up multiple times, and I hope there's a lot of issues tonight, and I hope it gets embarrassed.
And then last question for you, Mike. I am not high on Tua Tagovailoa. He's a left-handed quarterback. No? He's only 6'1". I've never seen him step up in the pocket. He got a 13 on his Wonderlic, which was astonishing to me. That was astonishingly bad. And Andy's injury prone. He's been injured, several times in his career. How far do you think he drops, or do you think he drops?
I don't think he's going to drop. I think people are seemingly tripping over themselves to even move up to draft him. And if you listen to a lot of the so-called experts, they've essentially inducted him into the Hall of Fame. He's got a better arm than Aaron Rodgers, and he's got all these superlatives. So, I'm with you. I'm very nervous about his injuries. This guy is
absolutely.
I do agree. He's small. I think he does have a world of talent, but you're right. He's tiny. Yep. The 13 is not a good thing on the Wonderlic, and the biggest concern for me is all the injuries. This guy's never helped.
No doubt. Well, Mike, I hope you stay safe out there, man, in Cal. I like your governor, actually. I think he's doing a good job, and always appreciate it when you take some time to join us, my man. Enjoy the draft tonight. I know we will, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you next week, my man. Always appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Mikey.
Mike Babcock, TMZ Sports, does a good job. Yeah, you can actually make some legal bets. There were actually 100 bets up on William Hill yesterday on the draft tonight. Now they only have 4 up there. That's a little bizarre. But anyway, might have some fun betting on some NFL draft props tonight.